Thank you, sir. So the second abstract which I am presenting today is improved stratification for risk of early metastasis by baseline circulating tumor cell counts for locally advanced rectal cancer in neoadjuvant setting, an exploratory analysis from a phase 3 trial. This was done by Liu et al. At National Cancer Center in China. So again, as we know that for locally advanced rectal cancers, the main modality of treatment is neoadjuvant chemoradiation followed by surgery. And we have achieved good local controls with that. Also, we have been able to do sphincter sparing. So that has become a guideline to go ahead in locally advanced rectal cancers.
Slide is not the slides.
Can we have the slides, please?
Sorry, sir, it's not visible. 1 second. One second, sir. Can you see it now, sir?
Yes, it's visible now.
Sorry, sir. However, the main problem with these locally advanced techniques is that, in these locally advanced rectal cancers, is that survival has not improved significantly because of the high risk of distant metastasis. What has been seen in studies is that the incidence of distant metastasis is around 24 to 40%, even with the use of adjuvant chemotherapy in these locally advanced rectal cancer patients. Now, coming down to circulating tumor cells, they have been found as a prognostic factor in colorectal cancers after surgery, with a change in number of circulating tumor cells predicting a response and local controls. There have also been few studies which have shown a relationship between circulating tumor cells change and tumor response after neoadjuvant chemoradiation in locally advanced rectal cancer. However, till date, there are no studies which have predicted the incidence of distant metastasis with circulating tumor cells in these tumors. So the aim of this study was to investigate whether circulating tumor cells can predict the metastasis in locally advanced rectal cancer based on a phase 3 trial. This was a phase 3 study known as the STELLA study, which was basically trying to assess between long course chemoradiation versus short course chemoradiation in locally advanced rectal cancer. So the inclusion criteria of the trial was patients with treatment-naive patients with biopsy-proven rectal adenocarcinoma of age between 80 to 70 years with a tumor and anal verge distance less than 10 centimeter. All patients had to be staged on a pelvic MRI and must have had locally advanced tumor, which was T3 or T4 and N+. All patients must have had an ECOG performance status of 1 or less and should be willing to participate in the study. So this is the study schema. If you see, all eligible patients were randomized 1:1 into either the conventional arm, which was long course chemoradiation followed by surgery, followed by 6 cycles of adjuvant capox, and the experimental arm, which was short course radiation, which was 25/5 fractions, followed by 4 cycles of capox prior to surgery, followed by surgery, and then 2 cycles of adjuvant capox. The primary endpoint of the surgery was 3-year disease-free survival, and this study is still growing. However, the exploratory endpoint was the value of monitoring of CTCs in the outcome prediction. They collected CTC samples at baseline, during the chemoradiation, and before the surgery. However, whatever they have reported is based on the baseline reports, what they have got. Now, the method of CTC detection was tumor selective replication HSV-based technology, which was controlled by it is basically controlled by the HTERT promoter, which labels CTC in blood using the GFP expression with a very high sensitivity and specificity. So what happens in this blood sample when they use this HSV HTERT GFP labeled pathway, it actually goes and gets attached to the reverse transcriptase telomerase reverse transcriptase present in the cancer cells and causes this green fluorescence, which helps in the detection of circulating tumor cells. So out of all the things, 83 patients, they had collected baseline samples, and baseline CTCs were found in 76 out of this 83 patients, which was around 91 to 92%, with a range of 1 to 18 and median presence of 3 CTCs. The median follow-up time was 17 months with a range of 13 to 31 months, in which there were 2 deaths, 2 local recurrences, and 19 metastases which were observed. When we see the patient characteristics by CTC risk grouping, so they have actually divided it into low risk group and high risk group based on the number of CTCs which were found. 3 or less than 3 was mentioned as low risk, and more than 3 was mentioned as high risk. So there was the variables like age, gender, location, the T status, N status, mesorectal fascia involvement, extramural vascular invasion involvement, and the treatment were comparable between the low risk CTC and the high risk CTC group. Now, coming down to the univariate analysis for the incidence of distant metastasis, they did not find anything significant when they tried to compare it with either age, gender, especially location of the tumor, mesorectal fascia involvement, extramural vascular invasion, the nodal involvement, or the treatment which was given. All of them were not significant in the 2-year metastasis-free survival on the univariate analysis. However, when they saw the univariate analysis by the CTC risk group, they saw that the 2-year median metastasis-free survival was only significantly correlated by the CTC risk group, with a high risk having a nearly 40% more chance of metastasis at 2 years compared to the low risk. Again, the Cox proportional hazard model was used to assess the distant metastasis at a distance metastasis rate, and they found out while the other variables like age, location of the tumor, mesorectal fascia involvement, treatment modality, or the N-staging were not significant for prediction of distant metastasis, the only independent factor predicting distant metastasis was risk grouping by CTC with a hazard ratio of 4.5 and a 95% confidence interval of 1.5 to 13.6. Coming down to the Cox proportional hazard model in a subgroup who underwent surgery, again they found out while all the other variables were not significant in predicting the distant metastasis, the only independent factor predicting distant metastasis was CTC risk group with a hazard ratio of 3.62 and 95% confidence interval of 1 to 11.9. So what they concluded was that there was a high CTC detection rate by the tumor selective replication HSV-based technology which they used. There is an association between baseline CTCs and distant metastasis for patients with locally advanced rectal cancer in neoadjuvant setting. And this may be a tool which may strengthen the pre-treatment risk assessment for patients with locally advanced rectal cancer. Future research is warranted at the same. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.